I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Rich Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. We got a great show for you tonight. As usual, my co-host with the most, SHELLY HOLLIS, is in studio by way of Zoom. And our guest, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, words cannot describe everything that she does. The minute she blinks, she's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame by the WBC in Las Vegas, Nevada. Every step that she takes is another step forward to building that empire of boxing. I got a load of questions coming her way. The vice president of TGB Promotions, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the talented Brittany Goossen-Brown. Welcome to the show, Brittany.
Thank you. What an intro. Nice.
We do our best.
Now again, other nice things. One more time from the top.
One more time from the top? Yeah, let's rock it from the top. Okay, yeah, no, you asked for it. Be careful what you ask for. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the one, the only, the woman, the myth, the legend, vice president of TGB Promotions that has taken off, the beautiful, the talented, once again, Brittany Goossen-Brown. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brittany, well, hey, unless you don't understand what combat sports is in this world, last weekend, talk about one punch that just changed the whole outcome of boxing in itself. Not just the fight itself, but boxing. 2 weeks ago, the world was shocked with Teofimo Lopez, shocking the world, dethroning what arguably is pound for pound and Lomachenko, taking him off the top of the hill. Now we have Tank Davis not only making a statement to the boxing world, but inviting the world to say, hey, you know what? I'm the man. I'm arguably the best pound for pound in the world. What's your take on the whole event? Did it live up to the hype? And how disappointed were you with the outcome?
Okay, so I thought it was a great card. I thought the entire show was great. It looked good. It was awesome to be able to have fans back in there. The first one with fans. I definitely, we all know I'm Team Leo, but I can't be disappointed in the outcome because Leo put on a good show too. Leo has nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, he was hanging in there. They were going, but Tank was the better man that night, and he got in with that shot. And boy, I don't think I want to watch the replay again for a little bit. That one really shocked me, and I was very concerned about Leo. But once I saw him smiling and he was up, and I heard he was signing autographs for people in the back, I was like, all right, thank God, we're good. And in boxing, that's how it works. One punch changes the whole thing. So,
You described him completely outside of the ring, the type of man that he is, the type of the way he was raised by his father. I mean, still signing autographs, still taking pictures, although he did go medically to go get checked out, which you both, you informed me that everything was okay, which, my heart was concerned as well, because when you see a punch like that and the ref doesn't even count, I'm happy for the winner, but at the same time, we have a man that is down, another human being.
Right, yeah, and to see it happen right in front of his dad, right there in that corner, it was rough to watch. So thank God he's okay. Tank checked on him, and what Tank said afterwards was really nice about how he did it for Leo's dad too, and he was hoping they were okay and they were good. So it's a gentleman's sport at the end of the day,
Absolutely. Shelly, it's no secret that you are a Tank Davis fan from start to finish, along with the Charles brothers, but we're going to cover that in the middle of the show. From day one, you said, Richard, this guy is the next coming to the Floyd Mayweather. And you also said the Charles brothers, until they get their opportunity, they're going to take over the boxing world. What was your take on last weekend's victory by Tank?
To be honest with you, as big of a fan I am of Tank, like she said, I was like, Leo, just him as a person, like you root for people like that, because you don't get to see. This is a very explosive sport, you know what I mean? And it's fighting, right? It's like controlled chaos. And it's just like to see families and to see people grow like that. And then when I was able to like watch the mini docs that they put out and seeing his story and how emotionally connected the family was, like you have to root for those type of people, you know? I wanted it to be I honestly was hoping it would just go to distance, and I wanted to see like a technical fight, but Tank is special, you know? And that's also the part of boxing that we all love too, but at the same time, like she said, it's like the well-being of these fighters, you know?
And Tank, you know, shocked everyone when he was able to make weight. He was under the 130. Yes. I mean, he did it, and so no one can say anything about him now in that regard. He came through and he put on a good show. They both did, but you know, he was, again, that punch, woof.
Yeah, that was special. I mean, Brittany, and then like right now, I think we're all getting a chance to see like a lot of young stars become like global stars, you know, with the Teofimos and the Tanks. Like, how do you feel about this environment? And I think just today I seen a video with Ryan Garcia saying, I want Tank next after Campbell. Like, how do you feel about this?
Right? You mean like they have a platform?
Like, these kids are like calling each other out and using social media.
I like it. I mean, social media has really helped boxing even grow because they're able to see these guys in a different light than just, you know, the all access that you're shown or the 24/7s or the this or the that. You're seeing them in their daily life. You're seeing their families. You're seeing this. They have this platform where they can show their style off and all these things. And it brings more light to the sport and more attention to the sport. And I think them calling each other out, I like it. I enjoy it. We had our virtual Zoom party on Saturday before the first bell, and Rolly Romero and Chris Colbert were kind of going back and forth with each other. And I enjoy it. I think it's good. I mean, what are they going to do? Fight? Like, that's what, at the end of the day, they're going to do that anyway. So.
Yeah, so I agree. I think social is pushing boxing forward, you know,
and so is having it on. I mean, that was a pay-per-view, but like tomorrow we have FS1, we have the Fox show on Saturday. Having it on like regular network TV where a casual fan can just turn it on, and you know, especially those heavyweights, when they crack, they're into it. So
yes.
They, you know, just is bringing about a different fan base, a younger fan base, a different crowd, they're celebrities in a different way, and I like it. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think it really helped UFC grow. You know, it's like they were on regular. I think that's what helped UFC grow, because it was regular TV. But like now that having boxing on ESPN and Fox, like I love it too, because we're seeing like real names without having to do pay-per-view all the time.
Right.
That's great. And, you know, it gives the fans an opportunity, even the non-boxing fans, an opportunity to adopt the sport of free TV, boxing and MMA.
And also, it's not like a football team or a baseball team where you're seeing the same guys over and over, you know, week after week. They fight, and then they don't have a fight for a couple months, you know, depending on what's going on. So for them to have that way to still engage with fans and still have people interested in seeing what they're going to come back and what they're doing, it's a great thing for them.
Shelly, you mentioned how on social media how Ryan Garcia called out Tank Davis. Well, as a PR or manager, I mean, they're loving it. You're supposed to. As a prize fighter, that's what you're supposed to do. Yep. You're supposed to not. Silent doesn't get fed. You don't eat when you're silent. Even though he has a fight coming up, he's letting the world know in Tank Davis, hey, basically, I was not impressed. I want a piece of you. I have business to take care of. Congratulations, you're doing the boxing world justice. But hey, I want the world to know me, and as if to say that's what Ryan Garcia was thinking. And that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job.
Shoot your shot. I'm all for it.
Yeah. How do you feel about this weekend's fight coming up with Haney and Gamboa?
Oh, I thought you meant our fight this weekend with Luis Ortiz.
Yes. Hey.
I thought about their fight. We have two fights this week. We have a show tomorrow and Saturday. We're coming off that pay-per-view. We just started all across for the next pay-per-view. I can't even think about anyone else's fights in this fight world but the ones I'm working on right now. So it's crazy. Our schedule is wild. You
guys own November.
Yeah.
And December, it's seeming. So yeah, it's been. I mean, the year's flying by for it not really moving at all. We're kind of moving pretty fast, you know. It's seeming like it's been 7 years since March, but we're definitely making up for lost time on our side.
You know, no, go ahead, Shell.
I was wondering with, you know, a lot of people fighting in the bubbles and doing things. Is boxing going to stay this consistent? Do you feel like when fans are able to be more involved, or is it harder to plan because of like you have to put more into the promoting?
I think eventually, but we have to find some kind of middle ground with it, because it's still so new with the testing, and you could be exposed, and 3 days later it shows up. So you have to be so cautious with them that the bubble is right now going to be tight like that. I'm hoping that little by little.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of fights this year because of this circumstance. So that's been another great thing for boxing. Health-wise for everybody, we want to take care of them, but like we've seen so many fights this year, like back to back. I'm loving it. Yeah,
and the bubble, even though it's been kind of a nightmare for logistically and planning it, and even the guys, it's not ideal. You don't get to eat what you want to eat and be in the sauna when you want to be in the sauna and all these things. But for me, it's been kind of nice because I know exactly where they all are at all times, like to find them for things. And I also think when you're not stressed about your family coming, and this and that, and you have these people and you have to do this and you have to do that, maybe it's a little bit more focused too. So there are some pros to the bubble, a lot of cons, but there are pros to it.
Hey, I agree with you. But Brittany, remember, what was it, in May, we were concerned, hey, when is boxing going to start? You couldn't wait. When we had you on, you're like, you were kind of stagnant. You were kind of down, because now the excitement's here, and now you can see the old Brittany, the Brittany that's full of juices, the Brittany that's amped, the Brittany that just looks like she had 5 Red Bulls and ready to get to work and just.
And I don't even drink caffeine. And then
you're ready to go.
Yeah, it all happened so fast. I was in Maryland, and we were about to have a show. Actually, and it was Thursday. We were going to do the press conference, and next day, and I had the meeting with MGM National Harbor, and their governor pulled the plug on fans being in attendance and like the show going on in general. So we never really had. It was just like we all got on planes, got home, and then it was like, so now what? It wasn't.
Exactly.
There's no goodbye, like, I had a little hiatus here, like, it was shut down. And I think I was very lost, because work is my identity. It was my identity. It is my identity. And, this is very involved. You guys know. It's 24/7 being in boxing. So to have that just like, and no idea of when it was going to come back, that was a great experience.
I'm curious too. What other name is on the card for the 14th? That's the one I'm looking forward to. You guys have a show the 14th, yeah. Can you tell us about some of the names that are on there?
Am I allowed to? Can you share that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share that with us?
Let me see. November 14th. Wait, so we have November 4th. We have November 4th, November 7th, November 14th. Here we go. Let me see. I'll tell you the main event.
Okay.
We got Vidal Ortiz. Vidal versus Ortiz. So that's out here too. That's in our LA bubble. Gosh, guys, all these vouchers, there's so many. 11/24, 11/21. 11/28. This is crazy. So
when can we expect Marcos Madman Hernandez?
It's a good question. I have to ask Henry Ramirez too.
Yeah, no, I know his fight's been set. It's a big fight. It's an opportunity for him. Just the Fresno fans, they want to know. They want to get their tickets ready. They want to make their reservations. Is there anything you could tell us about his opponent?
But there's nothing I can really tell about any of them, because this COVID testing still and everything. It's all touch and go until we're in the bubble and of fight week. Even then, until the bell rings, the ring, I'm like not 100% anything.
Can you tell us this much? Is he scheduled to fight in November?
I believe he is.
A soft name of an opponent? Anything? Can you help us out, Brittany?
I don't do that part. That's the match inside. I wait till they give me the names.
Well, my sources tell me that it's a big name. It's a big fight for him.
He should.
And it's a former world champion. So I'm here. I did Fresno, California. I did my best, because they were asking me, Richard, see what you can do for our homegrown Marcos Madaman Hernandez, see what you can get out of there. But hey, we'll be waiting and anticipating the
First
announcement.
fight was up north in at Robinson Rancheria. Did you hear of that place ever? It's in East California, little tiny. I'd never heard of it. Lived in
No, I can't say I have.
Tiny little place. Did not expect the crowd that we had there. They were so good. He put on a show, and that's the first time I saw him, and I really liked him.
No, he's a fan favorite. He really is. I mean, he does what he needs to do inside the ring. He's never ducked or dodged anybody that's come his way. And the whole PBC card is stacked. Let's transition to the 147-pound division. I mean, you guys absolutely own that division. Myself and Shelly, we talk daily on how stacked that division is. I mean, let's keep it real, Shelly. What do we say? It's full of dogs in there.
Yeah.
Dogs in there.
Dogs, everybody.
Yeah.
Any big names? No, go ahead. What was that?
That's a fun division to watch. It's a fun weight class. Like, sometimes the really little guys are a little too fast and people can't really follow, and then heavyweights are a little too slow. But that 147, I feel, is like one of the best to put on. I love it.
Exactly. I mean, Sean Porter. I mean, the guy that has to be Shelly's favorite fight because he brings him up every other time in a sentence. And you know what? If I was a matchmaker or a fighter, I'd avoid him because he's going to make you fight every second of the fight.
He's a tough kid. I remember when I had to watch him cut his hair too to make weight that one time. That's crazy. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Just scissors from the hotel front desk. Just chopped it.
Just to make weight. I mean, and the fight's still with him and Earl's instant classic, and we're all about to get fortunate enough to see him back in real soon, you know? And,
yeah, he's an all-around athlete, though. I saw him play basketball out in Vegas with a bunch of the guys that started playing. He was just tough. He's tough. You can't move him.
Yeah, that's the football in that guy right there.
Yeah.
So we got how deep are we away right now, Rich, from Earl's fight, his comeback? This is going to be huge. I'm like, that's on the calendar for me.
Yeah, we're a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much on him. Has he been posting? Is he just staying quiet? Anything that you're hearing?
I think he just announced on his Instagram too. I hope I'm not. But he just had another baby.
Right, I seen that.
Yeah, so I think he's been. But now we're close. Now it's gonna be crazy fight week, and that's in Dallas. That's with fans. It's at AT&T Stadium. That I can't wait. I'll be there.
Are you guys doing full stadium, or is it going to be a limited number of individuals you let in?
It is the full stadium, but the seats are set up as like pods. They're sold in groups of 2 or 4, and the most that they're doing is 6. And it's based on Texas. I mean, obviously, the full stadium at a capacity of 25%, though, of what we'll let in, but all levels still open. Tickets are priced well. They're flying though. People are buying them like crazy.
Well, absolutely. You got the diehards. They've been waiting. Just like even the World Series. And hey, you know what we all three have in common? Well, you know what we all three have in common? Right here, Brittany.
All of us are Dodgers fans.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, finally, right? This bubble thing worked out well for LA too.
Both teams, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't stop there. We're all PBC fans too, so big shout out. Showing the props. That's what's up. That's what time it is.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping. I mean, I always keep saying this, and we're only 3 weeks away, and I can't see a big change happening. But I kept saying, by the time that fight comes, I hope we have more fans in there. We're able to do more be more interactive with the fans too. But still looking a little sketchy for that at the moment. So,
Brittany, I'm sorry.
No, just to be back in the environment, it's going to feel good. You feel a little sense of normalcy in the time that hasn't been very normal.
Hey, it's a blessing just for you to be given a schedule in itself, because it went from one day, we don't know what's going on. Now you have a schedule.
I keep telling myself that every time I get kind of annoyed with the schedule, but it's true. You're right. I mean, there was months that I wasn't doing anything, so I hate to say the word blessed. But we're blessed to be able to do this, and these guys are blessed to be able to make money in a world where a lot of people aren't at the moment, So
Hey, I'm going to change it up just a bit. I'm going to put some pressure on you, Brittany. And you don't got to say who, but just give me your take. Because tonight's election night. I pray that whoever may the best man win, that he's a boxing fan.
Yeah. Do we know our team? No. Yeah, this is an important election. It's going to be interesting. I have it on checking it, but I don't foresee that being a winner tonight. I think it's going to take a little bit.
You know what? It's funny because you have the president election, and yet it's for most people it's like, okay, like I just stated, let the best man win. But when it comes to Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, we really want to know who's going to win. You see what I'm saying? These are our priorities. This is America.
Well, that's like a clear win. This whole electoral, I would try to understand it every 4 years, and I can't fully. I'm not that politically. I got to get better, but I don't understand like the popular vote versus the electoral college. It's all too advanced for me. I understand winners in boxing. It's just when I get knocked out, I know.
No, I know what my point was before I get away from it. I just hope they're a boxing fan and allow us to have crowds in and allow us to, get this pandemic and just grab it by the throat and wipe it out so we can get back to the norm.
Please, I need the normal.
Shelly.
Stay pretty neutral when you're watching the fights. You guys got big events, or do you have your favorites?
Oh, I have favorites, definitely, but for the most part, I'm very neutral. Sometimes the favorites are fighting each other. And at that point, all the time though, you just want to see a safe fight too.
Right.
Risks and just a good fight, a safe fight, and I like them to leave the ring and go home to their families and, spend their checks and be healthy and happy. You
feel a little nerves when you're sitting there right before the fight? Do you think you're just antsy as the fighters, or are you kind of just like, you've been around it so long, you just tune in and wait to see what happens?
It's interesting because when I was growing up, we would, I only knew our fighters. That's the only person I had like a connection with. So I'd sit there and just like want my fighter to win. I didn't really care about whoever they were fighting. But and now what I do with work, I'm dealing with the other side quite a bit, through the travel or the medicals, and you get to know them and you see them in there, and it's hard for me to just viciously like want someone to lose all the time. When back in the day I was like really cold about it, but I get nervous, like very, very nervous. That's why you don't really see me sitting. I don't sit ringside very often. I'm always in the back. I gotta be doing things, and like I'll come out if I hear something and then go back in and hide. But some fights, like I'll tell you, I did not move the Julian Williams Jarrett Hurd fight. Still to this day, if I could watch that fight, I was in the back, but I don't think I moved from the same spot that I turned around, and that I could not stop watching, and that was a great fight. Like those, but yes, I was nervous. I'm always nervous the entire time.
Now, how nervous are you going to be once my man, until this day, gets back in the ring? And I'll talk about Deontay Wilder.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you know what, and people, and I congratulate Tyson Fury, but you know what, that was his day. I know Deontay still has a lot left to offer the boxing world, and I can see them being announced as a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. What's your take on that? When can we expect them, and is there anything you can give us?
I mean, the whole business side of it, we got to figure out. But yeah, Deontay's not done. Deontay's coming back, and I love Deontay as a person. I love him as a champ. It wasn't, like I said about Leo the other night, it wasn't Deontay's night that night.
No.
And, so we move on, we get back. That's why we could do a trilogy. We could really see at that point. But also heavyweights, I feel like they get a lot more opportunity too to redeem themselves than some of the other guys. So talk about one punch changing things. Heavyweight fights, you never know. But yeah, no, I want to see that again. I like the crowd. I loved it. Vegas, that was like the last memory of mine before this happened. Being at the MGM, like everyone just, little did we know, huh?
That energy that day, that energy level was just I mean, you couldn't even imagine it. You couldn't even write it. You can't even produce it if you were a director in a movie. It is what it is. That was the closest thing to just, I mean, just to be around it. Even the weigh-in itself, that whole energy, that whole week of.
It was wild. I keep thinking, like, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have really, like, taken it all in and not been, you know, as rushed through it to get to the next one and do this and do that. Like, what a great experience that was. And
yeah.
Who would have known it would have been one of the last big ones like that, you know.
Brittany, you have a favorite division?
Favorite?
You have a favorite division that you like watching? Heavyweights, or who's your favorite? What's your weight class?
For example, heavyweights, like, you know, I think a lot of casual fans do like heavyweights too, because those are where you get the big knockouts and that power and like. But now welterweight 147, I love watching those guys. And I think they see power. I mean, they're a little quicker on the heavyweights, but again, I'll always like a good heavyweight fight too. I think everyone does.
Yeah, you bring up that 147. I know a lot of your guys over there want Bud Crawford. How excited are you guys to finally get one of your guys in the ring with him? I know a couple names that deserve it.
I do too. That will be. I'm into it. I would like to see that. T-Bud, he's around at some of our fights too. Often, I think he was in Vegas too. But yeah, I would like to see that. He's been calling people out for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the most vocal that he's been. Actually, you know, you've had a lighter champion call him out, Jose Ramirez, and Bud Crawford kind of let that slide. It wasn't until recently, Shelly, that he got vocal and said, hey, he stated his mind and basically told him, you know, I'll be ready for you if, in fact, you do move up. But I agree with you, Shelly. I'd love to see Bud Crawford along with the other monsters at 147 that PBC has. Brittany, before I move on from the heavyweight division, my resource team tell me there is a possible matchup between Deontay Wilder and the other former heavyweight champion, Andy Ruiz. Can you speculate? Is that new to you, or you're smiling? Is there anything you can share with us?
I don't. I have not heard that one. No.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could be off to the right on that one. They're texting me right now, so as we go. And hey, who better to ask than the one who knows what's going on? And you're right in the mix of this thing.
I mean, but again, with this in this new world of ours, things are switching all the time. So, but no, I have not.
So, before I go to these questions, because you have some questions from the who's who in boxing, is there anything that you would like to share with us, the Fighter's Voice? What have you been working on besides just getting ready to go? I mean, do you have any projects that you're working on? I mean, rumor has it that you're now doing a podcast, or you may be doing some acting, or you may be doing some personal managing.
No. No. The only thing that we've been working on the side is that making our virtual Zoom, our mixing it with the champs parties that we used to do in person that were fun. I don't know if you guys were out in Dallas for Mikey and Errol. We had a big fight party out there. We're taking it virtually and having all the guys on Saturday. We had a bunch of the fighters on and making it cool. We're figuring it out still. We didn't have the fans in that one. We did like a gallery of the webinar side of it. But the next big one is a month away for Errol and Danny, and we're gonna try to make it really cool for that one, really special. That's the only thing I've been working on now. I'm not acting.
Who are you leaning towards on that one? Whose phone is that, mine? Oh, okay.
On Danny and Spence?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like both of them, but like, you know, we gotta see. Danny is no pushover, and I see people calling Spence out and talking about Spence's next fight. Like, let's get through Danny. Let's see.
Yes.
So, and then Spence, he's coming off that crazy accident. That footage, I just saw it again recently. That was. Oof. I mean, he's lucky. He's lucky to be alive, much less able to train and be in the ring. So we got to see what happens there. I don't know. That one, I'm you talk about nervous. I'll be nervous the whole night. Again,
Exactly.
I want to see them both be healthy and good and get home, but people, I read the Twitter comments sometimes, and people, they're writing off Danny in a certain way, and it's not the case, I don't think. I think Danny will have to get through him before we can talk about anyone else.
I'm actually pulling for Danny. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm pulling for Danny. I really am. I think he's going to put a good account of himself. It's not going to be a one-sided fight. That's my take.
At all. I think it'll be a good night. It's going to be in Dallas, too. And
It's gonna be Dallas, yeah.
yeah.
It's home now.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think Earl's like really focused now. I think that changed like his whole perspective of what he needs to do in life, you know, and I think that's gonna help him through this match too. I think we're gonna see like the same guy we said that fought like Kell Brook, that was super technical, focused, straightforward, and I think that might have been his blessing in disguise because he was changing a little bit, you know.
I mean, that's not a wake up call, that you get the second chance on this opportunity.
Absolutely.
I mean, so many people. He's lucky. He's very lucky. I remember watching that video like the morning of. It was horrible.
Yeah, it dropped my heart. I remember seeing it on TMZ. I think the first place I seen it, but just seeing like an individual that worked so hard and was at like the peak of his career and to be so young, and it was just a reminder how fast tragedy can change anyone's life.
And it was only a week or two after he had just beat Sean, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great fight with
A
Mikey.
week and a half.
Here, right, in LA. And so it's just like how quickly life can change. You know, you're the champ of the world one day, and then you're in a car accident having to fight. It's a life lesson, a rough one, but.
Yeah, and then I've been watching his social. One thing I've noticed about him is his training has changed like a lot. Like he's keeping his weight down. He's staying more focused. Like he said before, he was fluctuating like crazy, you know, just because of like the lack of focus. So I think we're going to get the old Errol Spence, and I think he's going to stay that way for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm counting down for that one. I can't wait.
Exactly. Hey, Brittany, I'm going to get to some of these questions and comments.
Okay.
This is coming from, when I spoke to Sean, and I let him know you're going to be on the show. He said, wow, that is a great guess. He says, coming from a huge boxing family like the Goossens is tremendous. Her knowledge in boxing, please tell her that I'm a big fan from the knucklehead Sean.
Oh, Sean. You know, I've known him my entire life. He's been around forever. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, no.
Though, same people over and over and over and over and over. A lot of families. He's got Brendan in there now, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing big things in the Philippines.
Yeah. Crazy. Wild.
No, those are some kind words from him. And also, Marky, he said, yeah. He goes, tell her I said what's up. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. And, it's just been confirmed who Marky's fighting. So maybe it's not my space to say it. So I'll let it be announced. I'll do that.
Yeah.
But, no, that just came in right now. And also, here's one from, here's a great question for you. Trainer Rick Ramos, Catskills trainer, women's boxing. He said, does Brittany plan on signing any women?
I mean, it's not like we're not planned on that. It's just we're stacked right now. We're full and we're already stretched kind of thin on our side. It's not like we didn't sign women, but yeah, of course, we're interested in it. I think it's more, we already have so many people, but yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it at all.
Yeah, maybe even a possible matchup to his fighter, Jessica Catskill, who just, won all the belts. I mean,
yeah.
Rick Ramos, he's making some moves.
A lot of women boxers are making big moves right now too.
Yes, big time. Mike Basil said hello. Tell him I said hi. He said, yeah. Tell Brittany I said hello.
Oh, yeah.
Cut man.
I remember. Gosh, it's been so long since I've seen these guys on the road. Nice people. See everyone be stuck with them week after week.
Well, this one should be easy. Ray Flores says, what's your favorite city to barbecue in?
casinos, I eat barbecue everywhere.
Yes, that's what Ray said. Ask her, what's her favorite city?
I find it everywhere. Like I guess in Texas we had the best in Austin. It was one random place, but I also had a lot of beer, so it could have been Outback Steakhouse. I don't know what it was, but I thought it was really good at the time.
I think he wanted you to say the Windy City, man. I think he just wanted you to say Chicago.
Yeah, wind is my least favorite element, so no.
Okay, and
Chicago though now. Again, I mean.
Wow, listen to this one. This was a big one right here. This is from Hall of Fame trainer Robert Garcia. Tell her, first of all, that I love her. I'm very proud of her, and I miss her because I haven't had a chance to do any PVC fights with her this whole year. Missed the time talking boxing outside of the ring and just relaxing, talking in the lobby, talking those long hours. Very cool people. This is from Robert Garcia.
Robert Garcia is such a good guy too, and Mikey. Oh, we'd always fly together. We were both coming from LAX, and they were stuck with me a lot. So we got really close, especially leading up to that Spence fight. We'd have to go back and forth to the press conference.
Yeah.
Good people. Another family in boxing. There's a lot of us.
There is. Oh, okay, here we go. From Cutman Mike Rodriguez. Yeah, you know, I can't believe it's been years, and he's talking about a lost friend that you guys both lost, and it was 4 years from today. Todd?
I thought about it today. It was like the last election. I was on my way to Philly for Danny Garcia's fight.
Yes.
And I got the call that Todd had passed away, and we didn't even care who was winning or what. It was horrible. He also said you guys spent lots of time on the road together, lots of good times with Brittany. Class act. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's the perfect woman to grab the wheel and to take forward steps in the boxing industry. That's very nice. I still want Mike to take me on a detective run.
You and me both. I hit him up for that too.
Like, I watch a lot of true crime, so like I know I'll take his job. That's why he doesn't want to take. He doesn't want to be really good.
Well, if you want to find a good detective run, Shelly, let her know about Stockton, California, man.
I think everybody knows about Stockton, California.
Yeah.
We got good representation out there.
I mean, listen, I've been watching Dateline like a crazy person during this quarantine. Mm-hmm. I will solve every crime. Alone.
There you are. You are.
Hello. Really good. Scary. Scary, right? That's so scary. Like my mom and I will call each other after. Like, do you watch the Dateline? Like, it's very weird. It's very weird, but I got it from my mom. She's really into it too.
There you go. Hey, well, I'm hoping, hopefully one day, PBC, Showtime, Brittany comes down to the Fresno area, because it seems that Top Rank Boxing seems to come down once or maybe even twice a year, but us in Fresno, we're welcoming Golden Boy, PBC, Brittany Goossen. How does that look in the future? Maybe 2021, 2022.
I want to say with Goossen Tudor Promotions, we did a lot of shows in Fresno. I remember. I'm all for it. I like it when we don't have to get on a plane, when I can drive somewhere and then drive home. So yeah, and stay in California, we can look into that. But right now, it's just so convenient to do them in the LA area where we have it, because we have that bubble set up already. And that's not that much fun to set up in other cities.
Well, these are just, I don't want to say greedy. These are just the Fresno fans saying, Richard, get her down here. Get the whole promotion team down here, because that whole card was stacked. That was great fights that whole night. They were all knockouts. I mean, what else? What more can you ask for?
Was there like an outdoor venue somewhere out there? I feel like I'm
absolutely. Yeah, they got the baseball field.
Right.
Tachi. No, Chichancy. Yeah. You got Tachi Palace too. You got Chichancy.
Yeah, we used to do stuff out there. I remember that well. Yeah, we should look into it again. Why not? I'm down.
Absolutely. Hey, me and Shelly, we'll do the legwork for you. We'll get it done.
Okay, even better. I'll tell you what
we could do that, huh, Shelly?
Yeah, I did video promotion and graphics, so I got that.
There you go. There you go.
And again, once things open up a little bit more, once COVID's a little bit more under control, we'll definitely be hitting different venues again if we were. But right now, it's just everything's like day by day, day by day.
Well, Brittany, I want to talk about your whole calendar for the rest of this month. What can we look forward to in the month of November?
It's a lot of FS1 and box shows.
Yeah, some free shows, free boxing.
Yeah, a lot of free boxing. I think we do have one show's not again, but it's this month. November always flies by, but we have a lot to be thankful for during Thanksgiving. So
yes.
And then right after November, that's the first. Right after the November 28th fight, we go into fight week for the big pay-per-view, Danny and Spence, and that one, I think it's going to live up to the hype, and that's the one I'm looking forward to most.
Well, without hurting anybody's feelings, earlier in the show, you said you had some favorite fighters. Can you share any of those favorite fighters with us?
Yeah, everyone knows that one of my favorites is Adrian Broner. But I get along very well. Like Adrian. I'm very close to Carlos and Rikashno. Chris Ariola, been around forever. Leo, obviously, is like,
yeah.
Honestly, I think I like most of them. I get along with all of them. They're all, if we did my like dislike list, that would be a little bit shorter. But no, I get along with Sean, and Sean Porter is always good, great to work with. He's easy. Austin Trout too was always one of my favorites. He was a good,
real crafty.
Yeah, and he was just a good guy, like outside of the ring. And that's, they're all just so nice. They're all nice for being like killers in there and like guys that like really like I enjoy. And that's what I miss the most too. Like getting to like spend that quality one-on-one time with them. It's not the same right now, but I like miss them all. I feel like they're all my like little brothers or something. Well, older brothers.
Brittany, from the time that you spent with these fighters, what talent have you noticed from any of these fighters outside of the ring where you say to yourself, oh, wow, this guy can really sing, or hey, wow, this guy can really paint? What hidden talents have you noticed from any of the fighters? Can you share a story with us of any fighter that comes to mind and says, oh, even if he's this guy can barbecue? I mean, that's a talent, because I always burn my steak.
Yeah. I don't think I've really seen anyone like I'm not thinking right. I mean, some of them too, like I would say mostly they're like skills in other sports have like really like thrown me. When we were in Biloxi, Mississippi, we did the Top Golf virtually, and like Anthony Durrell was like so good, and like he was like a real golfer on the side. There, we were playing the bat thing. I mean, just those kinds of things. I haven't really, I guess, nothing standing out for anyone with like a real crazy talent that threw me off. I mean, it's usually me with the crazy good talent. So.
Well, okay, what are you? What are your talents? What can you share with us?
I mean, I'm like a really good baker.
Baker?
Oh, yeah. Bake.
Oh, yeah? What do you bake? What's your specialty?
Oh, I can bake anything. Lately, I've been making these like triple layer cakes. I do cookies. I'm like I've been in quarantine. I was like slanging cookies and brownies and passing my time that way. So, yeah, I'm very into baking. Cupcakes, oh my gosh, and I designed them so cute. I made Dodger cupcakes like every time that they won, so you're welcome, the Los Angeles Dodgers, for my contribution. But yeah, that's like my thing.
No, that's good, because everybody has a hidden talent. And when I see you, I always see the way you're able to communicate with people, the way you just stay calm and collected. I mean, you got that poker face constantly.
Yeah, sometimes I've lost it a few times. Some people, but no, yeah, I mean, plus I think I have a different understanding. I think when you've grown up around it and like you know how to, I know why if they're being a little bit cranky or upset or agitated, they're trying to make weight. These guys are hungry. Like I told you, I like didn't eat carbs one day, and I was like the angriest person in the world. So I understand where they're coming from. I understand what they have to do. I understand what their mindset is. Like, this isn't like a street fight where your adrenaline's pumped up. Like, you are aware that you're gonna like walk into the ring and take possibly a beating. So yeah, I think I'm just like more understanding because of being around it for so long.
You know, I'm gonna go.
My Uncle Joe I was born when the Wallace brothers were like just coming in.
Oh yeah.
On Tuesday, so they were around all the time. They were like our family. So I see it from a different perspective.
We were just talking about the Wallace brothers just yesterday, Gabriel and Rafael, and
Yeah.
we were talking about the De La Hoya fight. Now, a lot of people see the second round knockout. What I noticed that if De La Hoya didn't get him out early, he was going to be taken into deep waters early in his career, because the Rouse brothers, they were both late starters. I mean, as the fight goes, they'd get stronger and stronger. But their whole story and those brothers, I mean, awesome.
They wandered into the gym. My Uncle Joe took them in, and made them into champs. And we had a lot of fun. Like my cousins and I always say that like that fight, that was probably one of the first like really big ones we had been to, and we were having like the best time, like talking crap to everyone that was on like Golden Boy outfits at the time. It was when everyone in the camps would wear like the suits.
Yeah.
And I mean, those were our vacations. That was like fun. Those are our family memories. Looking back, I was always around some fight, and then I used to take it really hard when they'd lose. That was rough, but
You guys owned during that time. You guys owned the whole LA area, that whole boxing. It was all Goossen, man. It was just all Morales brothers. I mean, that whole LA area. It was just you guys on TV. I mean, all the time, constantly. You guys put up the good matchups and brought up all these youngsters, giving them the opportunity back then.
it's crazy to see, like, to look back and see what my uncles have done and my dad, and like what they've accomplished from literally a backyard ring, you know, and just what they were able, the mark they were able to leave in the sport. I mean, even for me to have the chance to like get here, and I'm lucky I got on easy street. I missed all like the major struggle of them in this business, but they really came far. They really did it. They did it.
You know, I know Shelly has a question about the Cholo brothers, but before I hand that over, I got to ask you, what talent, what mostly did you get from your dad that you're using today? And also, what part did you get from your uncle? I know that's the crazy side, but what part did you get from your uncle and in your father, who was a legend?
Yeah. My dad's knowledge on boxing is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, I'm like, you're a genius. Like, I didn't even know this growing up. Like, he could just, how he know. He's responsible for the career of a lot of these guys, these champs, these Hall of Famers. He, you know, was the matchmaker for the company. He knew exactly who to get, how to fight, how they would fight with each other. I mean, just the things he knows. And I've learned so much from him. And like, even the tiniest things that he could just like point out, like, you really, really have a boxing mind. Like, it's not, it's wild. It's, his knowledge is just so vast with boxing. My Uncle Dan is a little bit more like me on like the writing side. He's a perfectionist type guy too. When I used to work at the office when I was like 16 years old, he used to yell, "Britt," and I'd be up in the front and I'd be like, "What?" I'd yell back, and everyone would be like, "That means you have to go in there." And I was like, just like, he can come talk to me, you know. But my uncle, he would have a red pen, and he would just like correct anything, or you'll change this and change this. Even if like it was perfect, he would have to find something to be like, "Oh, now I like it like this." And a little bit I'm like that, but I try to like lay off. But my uncle he was hands-on everything with the business, from the PR side to the boxing side to the venue, everything hands-on. And I think a lot of my success has been that I'm able to kind of be overseeing every little, from top to bottom of the card. Like, I can, you know, I have a little bit of knowledge on everything. I definitely learned that from him.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Even though, you know, we stay professional, we never ask for autographs, we never ask for pictures, but there's always a time and a place. I'm just going to let you know, 2 weeks ago, purposely, I bought a white Levi's jacket. which I need you to have your uncle sign it because he is the king of Levi jackets.
Oh, you're talking about my Uncle Joe. That's my Uncle Joe.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, your Uncle Joe.
my Uncle Joe. Yeah. Gosh, I've learned everything from Uncle Joe. He's crazy, and I like it. But the Levi's, that's his thing.
He rocked them from the 70s, and he's still rocking them today.
Yeah, and his daughter actually dressed as him for Halloween. It was a great video. I'm gonna have to post it on my social media. It's so funny. He was like, "You're me." I was so happy. But he rocks the Canadian tuxedo. He's killing it.
There you go. Some people can get away with that. Just like my man Shelly right here. I mean, he has the fro. It's working for him. He has the insight, has the skills. This is one of the best videographers in the sport today.
Really?
Him and KP, they do awesome work. So my man here.
Always could use videographers, right?
Let me know. Brittany, who do you see like in PBC being, if you can choose 3 people, who do you see being household names? I'm talking about people that can like expand internationally. Who do you see that you guys have now can do that?
I've always said the Charlos because number one, there's 2 of them. Number 2, they're very good looking. They're young. They did that GQ spread not too long ago. And they were like models in there, and they're fun, they're personable. They're very either likable or some people really don't like them. You know, that makes a star. I think that they could really cross over and have like a career outside of just boxing too.
Yeah, you guys put them on the card together a lot. Is that something you guys purposely do?
It's only been twice that we did that. But yeah, I mean, they're great. They are, I love them. I love the Charlos. I'm a big fan. I actually like when they don't fight together, so I'm not as nervous for both of them, but I think they've only done it the kickoff of PBC on Fox in December a couple years ago, and then this past pay-per-view, and that was obviously different circumstances given the COVID thing. I don't know if that would have happened regularly, but yeah, their poor mom, having to watch both of them fight one night. Yeah, I think they would have. I think they could have really been. I think they are, and obviously Tank too. Tank has a crazy social media following. I mean, the girl who had a girl do my spray tan the other day, and I was on the phone working, and she was like, "Wait, he's here. I didn't know what he did." Blah blah. She like, knew all about him, and like, so he's definitely crossed over into that too, like actual celebrity world.
Yeah.
Deontay too. Deontay, I could see him. He's got star quality too. I can go all day with all these guys.
I mean, Deontay's interviews, right, Shell? Yeah, he has those great sound bites, man. I mean, they come alive.
Yeah, I think I sent you some of those DMs, right? It's crazy.
yeah, you did.
I love social media.
Gosh, we were eating in Vegas before his fight, and I like told him I was like not gonna eat carbs. I was like just talking, just. And so then I was out with some girlfriends. Of course, after 1 glass of wine, I was like, a little bread doesn't hurt. From across the restaurant, you just hear like, Brittany! And it's like loud, just drop the bread. I was like, damn, I need you to follow me around every single day. And Deontay to come coach me on putting bread down. So yeah, you've seen the other side of the boxers. Like, I think people really only see that like fighting style of them, but they're all funny. They're all fun in their own way. I'm glad that like the only upside of the COVID thing is that they're able to do these Zoom interviews. They're able to kind of do things like this where they're showing their like homes and their like true side of themselves, and that's fun. And same thing that goes back to your social media question.
I know what I was going to ask you. He made his PBC debut, and recently, and he made it just home in time to welcome the birth of his beautiful daughter, which was a beautiful experience. He shared with the world actually before Instagram pulled it, and I'm talking about Regis Rigarupo Grace. What was your take on Regis, and is he welcome to the PBC family? Was it a one-fight deal, or can we see him back again?
He'll be back. He the first that I saw him was on the Zoom call that we did a press conference, and he was I thought he was really funny. I didn't see, like, I saw a different time. He was like lying, but he was quick-witted, smart. I liked him. I like the kid. I think we're gonna see some big things from him in the future too. It was a good signing for us. A good addition.
We've had him on the show. He's been a regular, Shelly, and I mean he's down to earth guy, and he is witty. But you never know what he's gonna do. He lives life on the wild side, man. He enjoys every part of life, every minute, every second.
Hey, we're talking about that Fresno fight. I know he wanted Jose for a while.
Yeah, he mentioned that at 140s, and he also wants a rematch with Josh Taylor, and he just wants to redeem himself and get those belts back.
Yeah. We'll see. I see a bright future with that kid.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll take this time. Hey, congratulations to him and his wife. They welcomed a beautiful baby girl the very next day. He made it home just hours before her birth.
Wow. Lots of quarantine babies, huh?
Yeah, it worked out for him. So, Shelly mentioned earlier, and we mentioned all the PBC fighters, but we got to talk about the same. We got to bring up the same question, Shelly, because I'm curious, Shelly. What do you think about the fight? About the other 135-pound monster that's out there?
Oh.
I mean, because you got Ryan Garcia, I mean, you got Tank, Teofimo, and you can't overlook this kid. I mean, he's fighting this Saturday, and he's going to make some waves. Because Gamboa's tough.
Yeah, I think so. I think Gamboa's had pretty good showings his last two fights too. And I think I was a big Gamboa fan when he was younger. I just know that he had a long layoff, and I think that really detoured his career. But I think they used him. I think they all use Gamboa as a gauge to see where they're at. Like, that's just my personal opinion, and I think they go from there, and then they're like, okay, I'm ready for some real shit now. But that's just how I feel from a fan standpoint. So,
I mean, that's not a bad. If I were Gamboa, I'd be complimented by that.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be the test of whether or not you're ready and good enough.
Well, I mean, Brittany Gamboa already knows who his next two opponents are. It's going to be Ryan Garcia and probably Teofimo, because everybody else is fighting him, right? I mean, he's a test gauge. But he's smiling all the way to the bank, and all it takes is one in boxing. He can change everything.
That's true. That is true. That's crazy. And it's like they can come back a million times and just keep redeeming themselves. It's nuts. It's also the good part about it too.
And this is a tough question, and you don't got to answer. And just for yourself, has there ever been a fighter that's not with the PBC family that's outside of it, and they're about to be off their contract, or it's supposed to end, or it's about to end, and you think to yourself, I would love to have that fighter down at PBC? I mean, do you ever think that as the position that you're in? I mean, like before you got Deontay Wilder, I mean, you're thinking, man, I would love to have Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, back in the yes, definitely. I'm thinking of who. There's been a couple that were like, or even like Mikey, that whole thing. There's a couple that you're like, yeah, I would like that. That would be a good one. I have not felt that. I think I'm so into our guys right now that I haven't really looked at anyone else like that lately. But Regis too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely I've thought that before.
Shelly, we've had, okay, I'll just give you some names. Okay, we had Evan Korn from Top Rank, and he's all about Top Rank. We've had Roberto Diaz, all about Golden Boy. We've had Brittany, all about PBC. I mean, let's put ourselves in their shoes for 1 minute. It's all about promoting your voice, promoting yourself, because if you don't promote yourself, nobody else will. But I'm looking for one of these guys to step over and say, hey, I'd love for us to get together, our fighter, take on their fighter, and make it happen. I guess my point is, you guys, it was a beautiful marriage between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Both big, strong companies came together. You made it happen. You gave the fans, the viewers, the dream fight. When can that happen again? And how tough was that negotiation to make that possible?
That wasn't tough. It was, and again, my family worked for Top Rank back in the day, like way early 90s. So I knew Dina, I knew Todd, I've known all those people. It's a small world, this boxing world. It's the same people over and over. But that was like effortless, honestly. That's why that whole week was so great. It was, you didn't even know that there's two completely different promoters and two completely different television networks, and all of the background crap just faded away and everyone just came together. It was great. It was, I had no complaints, and I went into it expecting that it was going to be kind of like a, you know, we've had some in the past with some promoters that have been a little contentious with getting to that point, but not at all. It was smooth.
So, so I'm hearing you got the formula down for Spence and Crawford now.
There it is.
Yeah, yes we do. But again, we can't talk about that. He's still got Danny.
I know. And then yeah, Crawford has Kell Brook. So.
And so, you know, can't Kell Brook too. What a stud that guy is. Can't count them out.
No. You know what I also love? Not just the way that fight was put together, but the collaboration with ring announcers, with color commentary, with host. They all got along good. It was almost like, you know, watching the Dodgers getting to play the Yankees. You know, before you'd have to wait to see if they go to the World Series, but then it would have those crossover games. So the collaboration that you two put together to hear two top-notch ring announcers, two top-notch ring commentators, and the list goes on and on and on. I mean, it was a great collaboration, and you said it best, Shelly. The blueprint is there. These men just got to be victorious, and why not? Let's make it happen next. And not talking about the long-awaited Terrence Crawford and Spence.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get through Danny first before we can think about anything else. So.
See, she keeps saying that. She knows something. She knows something. She must have been to Danny's camp or something, or that left hook.
She's so fair. I like it.
Yeah, I know she is.
I do have a lot of Danny gear though. I love Danny sends me all the DSG stuff.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to interrupt. I think you received some gear not too long ago. I want to see that selfie. I want to see that picture rocking the Fighter's Voice shirt, Brittany.
I will. I know. We don't wear real clothes right now, but I'll wear it. Usually I'm just in sweats every day now.
There you go. And don't you just love Danny's father, Angel?
Oh, yeah, he's great. They're great. They're funny. Yeah, and Danny's funny too.
He is.
Funny side on him.
Yeah.
Danny Montana, it's hilarious.
Exactly, and doing little scenes. He's having fun during the COVID, and he's making it work for him.
Yeah, he is. It's funny. But yeah, definitely. That fight's gonna be here before you know it.
Exactly.
Bye. Hopefully make it out there. I think we will have media a little bit more than we had in San Antonio. And we'll see if we can get fans at some point in there in some way. But
well, when the ball starts rolling, we're going to put our credential request in, Brittany, and I'm going to say, hey, I know Brittany. We know Brittany. And we'll make it happen. We'll stay professional. We'll get those sound bites, man, and take PBC to the top just where you're at.
Someone once told me, who invited you? And they're like, Brittany. I was like, that's me. No. Yeah, no, but you guys, I'll back you up.
Appreciate that. Exactly. Shelly, do we have anything before we let her go?
No, she's awesome, man. Just a pleasure to meet you via Zoom. So maybe one day in person I'll see you.
Well, maybe Dallas. We'll see. So
Yeah.
Hope this COVID gets under control and we're able to not have to be socially distanced. I want a media center. I want some MGM tacos and buffet beers. So.
Exactly. Plenty of those.
Yeah.
Hey, and when you got some events coming up, make sure you tag me so I can push that out there, and we can continue to share it with the viewers, the fans, and the followers. And Brittany, I was a class act, and somebody told me today, they said, Richard, if she starts talking, that means she's comfortable. If she's not too comfortable, you're going to know. And I said, well, I've had her on. This will be the third time. And I'm waiting for her to bust out of that shell. And today you started, peeking a little bit out of that shell. And I appreciate that. That means you feel comfortable and you respect and you enjoy the show and you're having fun.
Yeah, everyone, they did that Ring magazine article with all those ladies recently, the 7 women. And everyone, they think I'm like not shy. I'm a shy person ever. It comes off bitchy, but I'm actually just shy. And a little bit bitchy, but mostly shy.
Gotta have balance, you know.
Yeah.
50-50. Depends on the day. But
The only thing I'm picking up from you right now is I'm like, she don't like being stuck in the house.
No.
Yeah, I was like, you sound like you're ready to be back on the road, be moving and grooving.
oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I used to complain about having, like, I was never home. I traveled 43 weeks last year. So it's
Wow.
just weird. Yeah, it's been weird. But it is what it is. And as long as we keep getting the fights on TV, that's all I really care about. So
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
all the efforts.
Absolutely. And one thing I will say before I let her go, Shelly, she's never turned down an offer to come on the show. Never. Has been a class act and been very courteous and just we appreciate you taking the time and just allowing us to come into your life. I mean, the platforms for the fighters and for people like you, Brittany, to let the world hear your voice and a different side to Brittany, the Vice President of Promotions.
yeah, well, thank you. And thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome. It's cool. Yeah. You had Ray and me on one time. That was fun. My guy, he's stuck in the bubble right now. He's in LA.
I'm glad you brought that up. We got to do that again next year. Ray, you and Ray got to bring you both back on next year.
Yeah, Ray and he's funny. Ray and I traveled everywhere together. We were stuck together for 5 years. So he's like the fourth brother that I didn't want.
They are. Enough said. Hey, well, enjoy your evening. If you got news for us, let it drop, let it ride. Give us a call, give us a text. We'll post it. I'll be waiting for that picture. Me and Shelly will post it.
I think everyone's freaking out right now. What's happening over here?
The election.
Actually,
Yeah. Something's going on. So anyway, well, thank you guys. Have a good night, and hope to see you in Dallas for the next big fight.
There you go. Hey, this is Rich Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice. I want to thank our co-host, Shelly HOLLIS, for joining us, and the beautiful, the talented Brittany Goossen-Brown. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember,
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.